Hi African Queen Mo family, how are you doing? Today we're setting off. Yeah. Yeah, I have to be very careful, you know, when you're driving, because, you know, there's so many kids and they play on the road here. They're like cycling around, so dangerous. We're setting off. I'm just gonna go over and pick up hubby. I want to pick up some few things, but I thought to use this time to chat with you and let you in on a few of my thoughts which are racing in my mind and which I'm not able to sit down and actually write up. As you saw, I actually did a video where I was singing. That's my first love. I think all of us have talents and gifts, and we shouldn't be afraid or ashamed to use them. To use our talents and gifts, you know, because that's what they are. Jobs are one thing, but talents and gifts are really what make us glad and happy. You know, you see people, they say that people who are mathematicians are excellent players of instruments. Okay, I'm just hoping that you can hear me because I don't have my microphone. Yeah. So today I wanted us to discuss something that's been bothering my mind a little bit. It's still on the issue of immigration, but not quite so much. But it's about attitudes, the attitudes that people have of developing countries, and the fact that people are happy to take what they can from developing countries, especially in African countries. They're happy to take, you know, from us. But on the other hand, they take the best, the creme de la creme, including labor. Can't even see where I'm going, for goodness sake. Which means that you get a good view of me, depending on where the sun is. Oh my goodness, that sun is blinding, literally. Oh! There, I think that's a bit better. See the guy behind me driving, he's putting his hand over his eyes. It's like, oh my goodness, that sun is so blinding. Yeah, okay, so what I'm saying is, generally, you know, when European countries, Western countries come to Africa, they look for the best. They look for the resources, they look for the gold, they look for, you know, anything that can benefit their countries. But, so what they do, what do? They say that they want skilled labor. They just don't want any Tom, Dick and Harry coming in. They want skilled labor, people who can earn a certain salary. That means that those people are educated to a certain level and they are skilled. Somebody else somewhere has invested in that. All right, not them, someone else somewhere. Yeah, so that's what they want. They want the best, the absolute best. When it comes to gold or diamonds, they want the best. Not just any riff-raff diamond, they want the best. They even grade them. They grade the gold, they grade the diamonds, they are used to picking the absolute best, you know, of everything. But you see, it doesn't make sense, you see, for Western countries like the one I'm in here, of which I am a citizen, by the way, so I'm criticizing myself in a way. There's no reason why we should here go look to in different countries for the best for ourselves, leave the waste to be handled by the people in the country. So you'll see it, like for example, if you see the way the gold mines in South Africa, you'll see all this sand that is piled up on the side of the gold mine. So right next to the gold mine is shanties where people, the very poor, live right next to that gold mine. And you know that they use chemicals for purifying gold, and those chemicals are actually very toxic. They're toxic substances for the human body. So people are exposed to all these toxins from mining, and they live next to them. In other cases, the poor are living in quarries, like even in Africa, in where, you know, even places like Mombasa, places like Moranga, many places all over the world, whenever people are digging for stone, for building, all these quarries, they tend to affect the natural balance of the earth, and it causes landslides, especially when it rains very heavily, like we just had El Nino the other day. It causes very dangerous roads, situations in the roads, infrastructure. Basically, it adds to the risk of people who live in the area. So you do mining, because basically what happens is that you have weak judicial systems, the weak courts systems, yeah, that cannot implement the rules, that cannot, they can police them and get a little bribe, but they may not be able to defend the law, or defend people, or defend the victims, yeah, or survivors, for example, of floods that are caused by poor environmental practices. Yeah, I hope you don't feel bad that I'm not looking at you, because I'm looking at the road. You understand, yeah? So basically, this is the thing that came to my mind, you guys. Does it ever make you wonder, why is it that people are so self-centered this way? Governments are so self-centered that they take the best from poor countries. Not only do they take the best, they leave a situation which is bad, poor. So for example, it's not just the mining of gold, but even if you take the best labor, the most educated person, what is the purpose of education? Isn't it first to empower your home, your household, so that if somebody gets sick in the house or whatever, then for example you have a doctor there that you don't have to pay a lot of money. You know, there's a doctor that can treat your family. There are nurses, you know, in the household. They know how to treat their children if they get sick. And apart from treating, there's also the responsibility of parenting. Yeah, that if you take people away from their children, what does that do? It creates a gap. Yeah. And I'm not blaming businesses for wanting the labor. I'm blaming the policies of governments. The policies of governments, yeah, for not giving a damn, not giving a rat's ass about the welfare of the people that they leave behind in developing countries. Because people suffer. Because if I come over here to this country, for example, yeah, then I've left people who would have needed me, like my mom. At the moment, my mom is not well. She's sick. Not everybody can work. So let me show you. Let me turn this camera around a bit. Yes, so the time now is 3:45 and it's already looking dark. Can you see, guys? Everybody has their lights on. It's already looking dark. We're in Wales. Here in these countries, we're living in developed countries where the roads, you know, the governments are policies about fixing roads. They're good, so they make you comfortable. You're happy to be here because when you drive, you're not gonna be running into potholes and having to take your car for servicing every 2 days. You know, every 2 weeks you're taking your car to the mechanic because you hit a pothole, you hit a bump. You know, so that's what I'm trying to say. The policies of these countries in the West, for example, are the ones that keep people there. Otherwise, if they didn't have policies that protect their own people, people would leave. And that's the situation. As you can see what's happening now in all the warring countries, people will get up and go, will get up and leave. Yeah, they will. Doesn't matter how developed it is, people will try to look for opportunities elsewhere, including countries such as China. You see a lot of people trying to leave China, the people who are rich, they have businesses, but the policies, you know, are forcing even the rich, the wealthy people to leave because they don't feel secure in their own country. Okay, economically they don't feel secure.
Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Turn this room, turn it to an ocean.
Why did I talk about this? The reason I'm bringing this up is because I've been thinking very deeply about this issue and thinking in light of the migrants, for example. Why is it that the government of the UK is focusing on those who are crossing the channel by boat, who do not even represent African population, yet they want Africa to come and help them to handle illegal immigrants that they don't want? And the illegal immigrants that they don't want are not the ones that come by plane, because the ones that are coming by plane are coming from countries such as Ukraine. Okay, they're coming even from African countries. Yeah, so the UK government doesn't mind those ones, but the UK government seems to mind these other ones who are literally from 5 top non-African countries. The top country is Iran, 20% of the population. Then we have, you know, other countries following: Iraq, Albania, Syria. Countries that are not African, but they want to dump these people, literally dump them, literally. They'll even exchange money. They'll even give African countries money. Just take them, just take them. They want these guys who primarily come from predominantly Muslim countries, predominantly non-African Muslim countries. All right? And they want to dump them in Africa. The same way that European countries have been accused of dumping waste in developing countries, as well as in countries such as Turkey. I've seen documentaries where there's so much plastic waste, yeah, that is being dumped from the UK into these other countries. And it's a problem, guys. It's a big issue. It is a big problem. So the question is, why do we allow this? Why are we allowing this? Why? Why are we allowing this? So why are we allowing this dumping of people, the unwanted ones, into Africa? Why? Yeah. So that's a good question. You know, we're asking ourselves, why is that? Why is that? So you want to take the creme de la creme out of Africa, take them to Europe, take them to America, not recognize their degree certificates, the ones that you say that they're highly qualified, but when they come to your country, you tell them you're a doctor or you're a nurse, but before we accept you into our system, you have to go and take more courses and more classes. You're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you're a nurse, but your qualifications, although you're highly qualified in your country, your qualifications are not enough for you here in this country. So you must go and invest more money in more education, and you cannot work in your field of work at all. You cannot work in your field of work, yeah, because your qualification actually your qualification is not enough. It doesn't match the needs of our country. Yet if Europeans were to come and the Americans were to come to Africa and start treating diseases such as malaria, we would recognize their qualifications, regardless of the fact that they may have only experience with non-communicable diseases, but they don't have experience with communicable diseases. Wow, you know? So this is a problem, guys. This is a huge problem.
Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning.
Like I was saying, guys,
Turn it to an ocean, let me float around. Eyes closed, like we're dreaming even when we're not. You and me got a whole lot of meaning, I don't know how. You and me just know how it feels when we're falling in love. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake
people are very polite driving here generally, which is what I like. I do like that about Wales. So the thing is that, you know, why is it that their qualifications are recognized in Africa, but African qualifications are not recognized in Europe? Why do they deny us the opportunity to work? They deny those so-called skilled migrants opportunities to immediately apply their training and education in things that are so critical and so necessary, such as medicine. Even just a general practitioner has to go back and take more courses and classes. So that's the whole issue. Why is it that they will make us have to go back to school? Yeah, or show that you have done extra training and all this, and yet they say that they need us, they need our skills, and then they call you highly skilled, and then when you come here, all of a sudden your skills are not really high anymore. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all, guys. Does it? And it's not fair. It's not fair practice at all. Can you see how dark it's getting already? It's only like about maybe, what time is it now? It's 4 o'clock. It's already getting dark. It's only bright over here because my lights are on for the car and stuff. Alright, so this area is called Clifton Street. I'd like to show you around a bit, yeah? Oh my goodness, the traffic is crazy here. I don't think I'll find parking. Oh my goodness, there's gonna be a problem here. Parking. Oh. Plenty of parking for the disabled. Wow, it's crazy. When is today? It's because it's around Christmas. I see people are doing Christmas shopping. I think that's the reason why the traffic is so unbelievable. I hope I'm gonna get parking on this side. I think I might be lucky. Yeah, I'm lucky. Oh, God is good. Where? All the time and all the time, God is good. Oh. Just grateful to find parking. My goodness. Now that we've stopped. Oh wow, it's really gotten dark, eh? Woo, it's very dark. I miss showing you that crazy one over there. I'm trying to figure out. So yeah, guys, that's the question. Ask yourself, do you ever ask yourselves those questions? Why are our certificates not recognized? So let me see. I'm still thinking about this girl and that beautiful song that she sang. Dudula, loli wawahai, dudula, nawazitza. Let me not continue playing the song because I've already recorded it. You know, what I want to say to you guys is I think that we should make it a fair playing field. If you're coming to Africa with your qualifications from the West, and in Africa, our main problem is communicable diseases, and you do not have training as a doctor in communicable diseases, you should not be allowed to set up shop as a doctor unless you actually go and do the training. It doesn't matter how many people are dying of malaria in Africa. If you are not trained to treat it, and you are a doctor and you come from any part of the world and you're working in Africa, you do not know how to treat specific communicable diseases in Africa, then I think that we should actually play ball. Yeah? Because my understanding of education is this. It's not about teaching you every single thing there is to learn. I think it's creating a mindset of learning. Yeah? Oh, which direction did you come from? Oh, you've just taught me that I can actually use these lights, eh? Hey, the car lights actually work. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It took my husband to show me that I can actually use the car lights to record, because otherwise it's so dark. I think because oh my God, guys, now this is becoming a little bit embarrassing. Let's see if I put it here, if I put it there. What's better? Oh yeah, I think over there it's fine, yeah. So guys, what I'm saying is that, you know, I think it's good to be fair. I think it's important that if Africans are expected or people from other countries are expected to go back to school to brush up on their skills before they can start working, and yet they came into the country as skilled labor, then that is not fair. That is just not fair. Yeah, it's not fair. Because we should be able to use our skills immediately. This is the reason why we actually invested. Because you can imagine the cost of having to travel to come to countries like in Europe, in America, the cost that it, the amount of money it takes for foreigners to up and leave. Apart from money, the emotional and psychological trauma that is inflicted on families that have to move. We don't talk about those things. The kind of sacrifice that it takes, the amount of additional people that it takes, the people you do not see that are supporting that family that is working for you in Europe, you don't see them. The grandmothers, the workers, the landlords that are in Africa that are waiting for the same money from the same paycheck of the person that you have employed. I think it's very unfair to, on top of that, burden them with additional requirements for their education when you actually hired them as qualified people, as skilled labor. If somebody is skilled, you either accept their labor as it is, or you get them to change or to do their exams in their home countries. They can do the work on the internet. You can even monitor them and make sure that it's them doing the exam and nobody else. You can even have invigilators in different countries depending on the number of people that you want to hire from those countries. But I think it's very hypocritical and expensive and unfair, and actually works counterproductive, because it actually works against the idea of enhancing or should I say, of creating opportunities for people of color or people from different countries. On the other hand, in Africa, we don't want to be the dumping ground for your illegal refugees, because especially those people who you yourself have identified as potential threats to your to not just the economy but to your social fabric. If you think that those people are a threat to your social fabric, we also agree with the same thing, and we say, yeah, by the way, they're a risk to the social fabric and we don't want them also in Africa. So if you can, just keep them there. Just keep them there in Europe. We don't want them in Africa either. Yeah, we don't want them in Africa. And we're not going to welcome them in Africa, because when they come to Africa, many of them practice discrimination. They discriminate against Africans. And we know that because we know that there are people from Asian countries, Arab countries who have settled in African countries, from Lebanon, from India, and they have continued to discriminate against the Kenyan people, the African people, in terrible ways. They talk rudely to them. When they set up a shop, they have absolutely no respect for them, for Africans, and it creates strain in the social fabric. On top of that, we have been victims of violence, of terrorism, and things like that. And we do not also want to be exposed to that. If you do not want those illegal migrants from Afghanistan, Syria, Pakistan, and all the other countries, then we also don't want them. Yeah, so don't use Africa as a dumping ground. We want the ones who are friendly towards Africans. So they need to be taught, apart from just finance and economy, they should be taught how to integrate and how to behave around Africans, because Africa is now opening up into the free trade agreement area, which means there'll be movement of persons from different parts of into different parts of the continent. So we don't want a situation which will cause upheaval within the society. Take your refugees and figure them out. You have an island, yes, they're over here. You're thinking of putting them on barges. I don't think it's a good idea to put them on barges. Find those countries that are sending you those illegal immigrants. Find them seriously. Find a way to deal with it, but don't think that Africa is going to be your solution, because it's not. And I'm very serious about this, guys. I'm serious, apart from the fact that it's a human rights violation to trade in people with money. That is a human rights violation to me. It looks like human trafficking, and it's wrong. Okay, on that note, guys, I think I'm done. So we'll talk. Thank you so much for your time. And please remember to subscribe, share. Let me hear your opinions. These are my strong opinions, and I'm not going to abuse anybody or be rude to anyone. So I hope that nobody will be rude back to me. Thank you very much. Cheers. Toodles. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.